Hi there, good evening. Welcome back to the Paint Party live stream. So glad to have you with me in the studio this evening. This is episode 128 of the live stream, so I'm grateful to have you here. If you've been here before, you know how this works. You can participate in the live stream on the comments wherever you're watching. You can feel free to ask questions, make comments, or make comments, ask questions. I enjoy interacting with you on the live stream. So this is my Learn to Paint journey. A few years ago, I started teaching myself to paint, and over the last month or two, I have transitioned from acrylic paints to oil paints. So I am now exploring a brand new medium and getting up to speed with oil paints. It is different than I'm used to, but it is an exciting new part of my Learn to Paint journey, and I'm bringing you along for the process. So you can see every week I usually work on a different painting, and so this year I am hoping to do a unified collection of paintings, and so I'll be working on actually a new study for one of those paintings, or what may end up being one of those paintings this evening. So I'm excited about getting into that. It's funny because, let me show you this one. If you didn't see it, this is the one that we were working on. Let's see if I can get closer. The last couple of weeks, and I got this pretty much done. The light in here is really bad, but it turned out pretty good. It's still kind of drying. It's a little tacky, but when I started this live stream this evening, I was getting all my cameras and everything, and I've had technical problems. So I wanted to make sure all of my cameras and everything were working, and it was fine, and I got everything plugged in. And right before the screen came to this camera shot, I was thinking, man, it feels like I've forgotten something. It feels like there's something else I had to do. And I was like going through my head. I'm like, no, all the cameras are working. Everything's set. I've got my canvas. And then as I'm speaking to you, I realized my paints are downstairs in my freezer. So I didn't bring I'm not used to having, I do have paint here, but my little tray with my paints, because oils don't dry as fast as acrylics. So I keep them in the freezer in between sessions, and they're downstairs. So I'm going to have to run and grab those. But let me get this set up and talk about what we'll be doing this evening, so that we can get started as soon as I actually grab my paint. Welcome to those of you that are popping in. I see several more people. I don't actually see you, but I see that you're on the live stream. So glad to have you. So this evening we're going to be working on a brand new painting, and I showed it to those of you that were here last week. I put together actually two images from the Mickelson Trail where I hike right outside town, and there was a really interesting way the light was shining on the trees, and so it was but there was another area. It was like two different areas. So I took the top of one picture, the bottom of the other, put it together. And so I want to show you kind of what I put together. So let me switch over here. And there we go. Oh, that's not the one I want. This is the one I want. There we are. Oh, it's really dark back there. Let me show you. This is the image. So I really like how the light was coming over the top of these trees, and the rest of the hill was in shadow. And then the second, from the white snow down, is kind of a second image. Well, actually a little behind the tree. Anyway, but I really like how it's bright sun, and that tree without the leaves stands out really brightly against the background. So I put those two images together, and today I mentioned the last few weeks that I've been taking a composition class, an art class in composition. And so I did several quick sketches, and then I did a larger scale sketch of that. And this is just a pencil sketch. But what I want to do, I'm arranging those images so I have the contrast of the background against that tree in the snow. And then I want to put in the footprints that are on the, let me see, this image. So see how those footprints go into the background? So you can see what the actual image was. The background, it was going the opposite direction, and the sun was on the other side of the mountain. And so, but I like how these footprints are going back towards the tree. So I put them into my drawing, and I think that will help guide us back visually to this area of contrast back in the image. So that is what we'll be doing this evening. That said, I have then gridded this image so that I can try to put in the things. And then let me actually put the sketch. I think I'm going to put them side by side. Let me do this, because I moved in my sketch, I moved the I moved things around. I moved the mountain further back. So I'm going to have to kind of piece these all together, because I'm not a PowerPoint, or not PowerPoint, but a Photoshop expert. So that is what we'll be working on. Let me put my other camera, turn my camera around real quick. And then I will go get my paints so that we can actually paint. All right. Let's get this set up. And there we go. It usually is better if I am it's up a little ways, so I'm gonna, the glare is better, so let's lower this down. All right, I think we got it. Pretty much. Good grief. Okay. There we go. All right, let me flip this around and make sure that you have the best view possible. Okay. And what I'll do is start blocking in. But first, I will go get my paint. So, if those of you that are in the room will keep everybody entertained, I will be right back. Okay, thank you so much for your patience. I am back. I need when I'm gone, some sort of a graphic, or if I was a real, like a Twitch streamer, I would have it really professional. Okay, there. I think you can see my paints. Ooh. And let me put those out. Right there. I wish there wasn't a shadow there. That's all right. Maybe like, there we go. That might be better. Now, I need to put some gloves on so I don't. Then I'm trying to decide if I want to sketch this in. So I've toned my canvas panel with acrylic paint, and this is dry. I did this afternoon, so it's pretty dry. I mean, not pretty dry, it's dried. And gridded it. You can tell I messed up and put those 2 lighter grids or grid lines, but that will, let me see. I don't have a copy of, whoops, sorry, my arm's in the way. My sketch pulled up on my monitor. So I want to put what you're seeing on your screen up as well. That way I can kind of, because you'll notice when they're side by side, the adjustments I made, primarily pushing the mountains further back because I want the footprints to lead us back into the painting. So I want to make sure that I have that all set before. That's the advantage of doing those sketches, because you can pretty quickly see what you like or what you don't like. I need a paint turner. All right, I have some white now. Okay. Now let's do a little bit of some drawing. Let's see if we can draw a little bit. And I don't know, again, I'm still learning. I am learning oils, so I'm hoping this will work and they will dry fast enough. So I'm going to take a little burnt umber off to the side here. I'm going to get a little mineral spirits to thin it down. This should help us dry it. And then we can start to put in our major components. So I really want, I think, this to come in like this across the center. And I want this horizon to be a little higher than it is on my drawing. So we'll bring it in here and then let's see, that's horizon line. Then the other, this will be the dark. This will be our tree. Our tree. Kind of like that. What I'm doing here is just trying to pull in the, y'all are really quiet tonight. There's more people here than usual though. Thank you for popping in. I'm glad. Okay, then there. So that gives us an idea of kind of what's going on, and then we'll have, I just want to place the our tracks. Something like this, I guess. Then our other tree, so this tree will come down into here, and our other tree needs to sit back maybe right in here. I'm moving it back just because I want this to be, and it's right on that intersection, and it's the intersection of the third and the horizon. So I want this to be the point of interest. But I like how the light was shining on this tree, so I want something there to show the the light. Okay. Like that. I'll get better at this, I promise. And then some of this will just be snow. Okay. That's the gist. And then we'll put the moon up here. So that's the gist. We got things kind of in where we want them. Let me step back and take a look. Yeah, I think this is good, at least for now. So now we need to come in with a bigger brush and start putting in some blocking in the large spaces. And this is a large canvas. It's 16 by 12 by 16. So I want to do some spots. Let's see. We can get rid of this for now. I'm just adjusting the images I have on my. Now let me hide that and put up. Now let me put this up for you so you can kind of see. And I want the original image, though, was, you guys have the original image. Remember, those of you that have been around here since the beginning, remember when I only could do paintings from tutorials? Now I'm using my own reference photos and altering them. Okay, so let's block in starting from furthest away to closest. Cobalt blue, cerulean. Can't remember which is which. Okay. This is cerulean is the sky. So I'm going to put that on my little thing. And we want to do a little medium. Okay, I'll take this for now. I'm Let me raise this just a little bit so that I can. Okay, again, we're just blocking in. Let's get color on the canvas. Thick over thin, so I'm going in pretty thin. But I want that really almost oversaturated blue. So okay. All right. Not sure if kind of curious if my software's messed up because there's nobody's commenting. If you're watching on a device where you can comment, would you just say, hey, we can comment or something so that I know those comments are coming through? If everybody's just being quiet, that's totally fine, but I'm just curious. All right, we got blue in. Now let's see what we can do with what I'd like to do while I have the blue is take a little of the white with the blue and put in some of these in the shadows. There's kind of some of these snow spots that are visible through the trees. So I want to put, I don't know if that's the right way to do that, but that's how we're going to do it for now. Okay. Now I want to see if I can take the, I guess let's put a little green. And brown. And blue. Ah, thank you. I figured everyone's just quiet, but when nobody's commenting, I want to make sure. Okay. Now I'm mixing here some dark dark kind of brownish purple green. And basically this will give us the that's too diluted, but we got some idea. You learn as you go, right? I'm going to have to let this dry now before I do. But that was the goal, was to get it blocked in, but it was too, I should have cleaned the brush and did a brand new, because it's too light. I want a, yeah, especially on your screen it looks really washed out, but I want but I can't go lay the dark over the light now because it will just muddy it up, basically. So, that's all right. Oof, let's see. Okay. Let's do a different brush. Let's go in here. Now, I'm still not sure best way to do this, but I think it is to do dark and then light over dark. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go really dark, kind of that black color we mix with little green. A little sap green. Okay, this will look super dark. And so it'll look totally imbalanced, but that's okay. And then up in here, this is what I should have done down here. Should have got these will be shadows for and it won't hurt to have multiple layers. Of course. So weird to get used to these oil paints though. Now we'll take a little bit of, actually, I want some yellow ochre. Maybe burnt sienna. I'm taking this, whoops. Oh, you can't really see. There you go. Taking this brown we already mixed, and I'm mixing burnt sienna and yellow ochre with it to give me that underpainting for the where the sun is coming. So can start to see the illusion a little bit. Okay. Well, we've really... Yeah, this was a big mistake there, but it's all right. We get things kind of... And I just have to do a lot more work to I need to work harder. Now let me see where the original... Okay, you guys have the original. So, I want to take this yellow and I want to put in on this side of this tree. Yeah, that's not working, but okay. But it helps to think through. Okay, so now I need lock in the blue part of... So I need to, whoops. Clean this brush. Okay. Now, let's take blue again and yellow or white. Let's put in, I wonder, a little, orange. That blue, we'll cut it down with some orange, just a tad. Okay, now we need to come in and start laying in the underpainting of all this snow. Okay. And I'm just going to carve around this so that I can put in the footprints. Oh my goodness, I have tons of paint crusties in my paint. I think that's because some of my paint is dry, some of it is wet. Probably just need to clear it all, clear it all. I think one of the other potential mistakes I could be making composition wise is that there is, one of the mistakes is that there may be too many not points of interest, but things that are competing. Because I noticed, like in these paintings, what really caught me in the images was the light on the trees. And then what caught in this image was that light on this tree. But I don't know if combining them is going to make the whole painting seem like they're competing. So we'll see. Like, you know, that's why I'm doing this as a study for, because if I do this as part of if I do this painting as part of the collection that I want to do, then I would paint it, you know, I would paint it again. I will paint it again, and I will, you know, this would just be a study for that painting. So that's what I'm. But it's good to go through the process, sketching out the composition, making some of those decisions, then actually painting it, especially because I'm, you know, just figuring out this oil paint thing. I love that you make time for your hobbies. Teach me your ways. Hi, Jasmine. I miss you. I have had to This is basically, well, kind of the only hobby I have, because I've decided that this is my priority and I really like it, and I, you know, put my career, so to speak, on the back burner, in the sense that I, you know, I stepped away from what I was doing and have made a job that I can basically, that I'm trying to allow myself more time to paint. Now the challenge is I've done that, and when you free time, it fills with other things, and so now I really have to be consistent about making it painting. But yeah, it is tough to make time, for sure. I basically figure out, okay, I'm in the process of getting rid of Netflix, all my any other streaming. I don't have any other streaming services. I read. That's my other hobby, and I try to make time for that each week. But I really am trying to make more time for the painting, because I really want to progress this year, and I want to progress dramatically. And in order to do that, one thing I'm realizing, I may have said on the live stream before, that I really need to do, I've been watching these documentaries on different artists, like Cezanne and Monet and Raphael and Donatello and Leonardo da Vinci, of course, Van Gogh, I guess, all of these artists. And one thing that seems consistent is that in one way or another they copied other works, whether it was ancient sculptures, which a lot of the those in the 1600s, they would paint after sculptures, or if they then painted after other painters. And so doing studies, master studies for sure, but also studies of other painters, I think is absolutely vital, or other paintings. I want to, both contemporary and, past painters. I want to find paintings that I have a whole Pinterest board of paintings that I love for different reasons, and I really realize that I need to make the time to paint studies of these paintings, because that's part of how these really great artists worked out their work. Like, that's how they figured it out, what they wanted to paint, how they wanted to paint, etc., etc. So now I want to create a shadow color. See if we can put some shadow here, the snow. Just toning this now. Want to need Hi there, Bob G. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining in. All right, I'm going to put a little cobalt blue into this. We need kind of this bluish green color to see if we can put in some of these footprints. We'll put in, again, this is just a blocking in. So we'll put in the I love your vlogs. Bring them back, please. Oh, thanks. I haven't done vlogs for a long time. Well, since I moved. Just because I found that my life was not interesting enough. I mean, there wasn't something to do, but maybe I should. I thought of doing, I was trying to do them every week. Maybe I just need to do every month or every couple of weeks. But those are a lot of work because I'm not a video producer or editor, and but I've thought of doing some tied to my art process, just talking about creativity and what's going on in my head and how I am approaching this process, especially because I'm this year wanting to dramatically improve my painting. So maybe that's a way. And I thought of doing some short form like Reels or TikTok type content that is more, doesn't need a lot of editing, but I don't know. Okay, that gives us it. This looks like a stream running, which we could make it a stream. I never thought about that till I looked at it, but this gives us kind of the form of where, what is going on. So I'm actually going to come in here and take some of this color and put I'm going to do some dark. Usually we call these sky holes through the tree, but this is actually kind of tree holes. It's when you see what's behind it. Because I'm not sure exactly how to paint this tree. Paint it like okay, now let's see. I like that idea. Vlogs plus art discussions and commentary is a perfect video. Yeah, there's one of the creators I really like is a lady named Chelsea Lang. She's mostly a portraiture artist, painter, but hers are more, she talks about specific challenges because she has like a mentorship program, but it's just her painting most of the time over, and then a voiceover. And there's another creator named Nathaniel Drew, and he's a vlogger, kind of deep thinker type self-help type vlogger, and lives in France, has traveled around the world, and is always thinking deeply, and I really like his videos. And I'd like to combine kind of, because I like the thoughtfulness of the, when he's grappling with different psychology things, or human behavior things. Like he just did a video on how he's noticing patterns in his own life are mimicking the patterns that his parents did, as far as even fashion and things that are coming back. And he's wishing that he was thinking, I was so critical of my parents, but now as I become an adult, I realize, I have a lot of the same traits, and the good things that I have are from them. And he's just very thoughtful. So I like that kind of way of thinking, and I'd like to talk about, my art and my process, and what I'm learning and what I'm thinking about, and what are the things that are impacting the decisions I'm making with art. So I think as long as I could find a way to make it interesting visually and interesting to, the viewer, I think it could be valuable. But again, time and energy to record, videotape, edit. But if I did it, once a month or something, and kept it really very if I kept it very, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but yes, I think there's opportunity. So I appreciate your comment, Jasmine. Thank you. Because I enjoyed making those videos. It just took so much time, and then I had to really think about, okay, what did I want? And I have to, figure out a way to pay bills and such too, also. So that's part of it. Oh. That stands out. That's good to know. Okay, so let's see if we can create this illusion. Might have to let it dry, because yeah, I'll have to come back and figure this out. But if I can give it structure now, I can figure out the rest later. I'm putting this very light peach color on the snow, just because I think it will look really pretty with the light color up here, and I can always go back and add relatively pure white on top of it to show the highest highlights, especially in the back. But snow is hard to paint, but it's one of those things that's like got so many colors in it. When you actually look at it, you're just like, oh wow, I didn't see there's purples and reds and orange, and just depending on how the light's reflecting and what's reflecting off the snow, what's around it, what is. And I'm not going to put these on the left hand side of your reference photos. You see those shadows going across, and I think they are interesting, but I think I would do a separate painting that would be like a close-up painting just of footprints and those shadows going across them. But for this painting, I think there's enough interest in these areas that yeah, I'm not gonna put those. This is gonna be just open plain basically to the back. Now I wonder if we can do a little more alla prima, which is basically wet on wet, which is kind of what we're doing. Yeah, it's still tacky. So let's see. This is a trick that I've seen Kevin Hill do. I should have done that earlier. This will absorb some of that oil. Now, I wonder if I can come in and do some more. This color, this color. If I put some can't tell what that is. A little dark. Now, not sure exactly how to paint. Let's see. don't know exactly how to. As we get going back further. It still looks like a stream. So I'll have to work on this and figure out how to make it a little more like these are footprints. But you're already starting to get the feeling of the things though, which is cool. Or you get the feeling that it's snow. So now I want to take some more brown and blue, mix this together. Okay, now I want to see if I can come back to see if I can put in. Hey Daniel, so good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Some of this again. I'm gonna see if I can fix it a little bit. Because I think that will give us the real sense of that illusion. I need to see. Oh, I wanted this to come down further this way. I think sorry, I'm moving your image. I was just looking because that's the original image, and this edge of this evergreen is pretty much lost in the background, which is fine. I'm fine with that. I need to actually make it, it needs to be a little bit smaller, I think. And I need to bring the snow probably up a little bit. So we'll just adjust that as we go. All right. That's I really want to push everything, look at just putting dark around that tree, how it looks like it's glowing. Isn't that cool? And it really pops it back. But I want to do everything to push the eye here. So obviously this is leading you back here and it kind of curves back. So your eye goes out and comes back, and then by bringing this dark to the edge and kind of putting the most bright sun up here, that will also bring the eye to that point. At least that's my hope. That now we're starting to see the illusion we want, aren't we? I have to, it's very easy when you're painting trees to get very inorganic and symmetrical. So this needs to be all, I was going line, line, line. So it needs to kind of have, so I guess it's good that I made these mistakes so I can kind of put all these different layers in there. And then, of course, there's snow up into the hills because these are, you know, these are not I mean, it is thick forest, but you can see there's some you can see some tree trunks. You can see some aspen or birch, I mean. No, aspen. We have aspen here. I kind of like that. I think that's good, having gives something interesting to go look at over here. Do some little spots throughout where it's not yeah, doing all these random points. Now if we put some up in here too, that's good. I'll have to do some of this with after it dries. Now I'm just kind of messing around to see, I'm just mixing some of this to see what I can do. This red. there's kind of this bright orange or yellow, but there's also red and green. So kind of putting all these colors in, I think, will make it look super vibrant. Can't really tell on your screen, but all right, it gives us the feeling I'm going for. I do need to wait, I think, till it dries and then come back and do some more, because I want this pretty dark in here against this tree, but I don't think I can do it with the wet paint. So let's see if we can do Yeah, I like that. Again, by gradating this and keeping this cooler and this warmer, this has a little more pink tones in it, as you can see, and this is a little more bluish tones. It draws our eye into the painting exactly where we want it to go. And it brings us, this brings us back, and if we come down here, this will bring us back. And if we go up here, this brings us back. So that's what we want. That's what we want. Now, I wonder, okay. There we go. There. Don't want to go too much, but that gives us the start. Now, let's see. Where is my... Okay. Now let's see if we can do a... Just going to mix this. If I can do... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Beware of your little fingers. Especially if they have paint on them. Okay. Now... Well, we're slowly getting back to the length of live stream that we used to do, which is a good sign. That means that I think it means I'm improving. At least I'm able to keep myself painting longer. But I do think we got this block in pretty well as far as we can get tonight. So I think I'm gonna leave it for now. Unless I can go do. I'm still finding myself painting like acrylics though. Like now I'm trying to go in and add something on top and it's just pulling off the under layer, of course. Oh, that's frustrating, but that's okay. We'll let it dry and then we'll take another stab at it. Gives us the idea that there's some open spots on those. Yeah, let's just not mess around much more. All right. Well, that is our live stream for this evening. That is at my current level of skill. That is as high, or this is as far as I can go. I don't want to do any more that will mess things up. So, however, I do want to scrape, I think, the inside of this. Might as well, since I used almost all of that, let it dry before I put more in. Try to get all those crusties out, because I think that's what's ending up in my paint. These paint boogers. Could probably start an ASMR recording ASMR, just scraping paint out of this container. Would you all watch that if I created an ASMR? It's quite satisfying to get the paint out of there, at least for me. Okay. Well, might as well do this one too, because that paint is mostly dry and empty. There we go. That's nice. This is still, I guess I could do the white too. There's a little paint in there, but might as well start. I use enough white that might as well start with new. Let it dry some. So these, I think, are all still good paint, so I'll kind of leave those. Thanks, Mr. Bob. I feel happy. Feel like I'm learning new skills, not only with the medium, but also laying out compositions, developing, being able to be out and see something and turn it into a painting, as opposed to, where these are obviously two different scenes, but pulling them together with the things I like, being able to draw out a sketch to figure out, okay, I want the mountains sitting further in the background. I want the, footprints to come in. That is really, and then being able to actually execute well enough to make it come out the way I want it to is really fulfilling. So that's kind of cool. And it's fun to explore these things and, with the eye of, turning this into one of the paintings of my collection this summer, being able to paint through them and see what the obstacles and difficult parts are. And yeah, it's just good. I just need to do more of it, and I need to paint I need to find time to paint other people's paintings. Let me, whoops, there we go. Yeah, other people's paintings, to work through some of those challenges as well, match different colors that I'm not used to matching, because when you get used to painting, you have certain color combinations that are your go-tos and you're very comfortable with them. And I've noticed this with every painter. There's a certain way somebody's painting looks based on, their color combinations, the colors they choose, how they mix the colors. And so all of that has an impact. And so I want to do some paintings by other people, some studies of other people's paintings. Can't do those on the live stream really, because it's not, you could do master copies of like famous painters, but I don't want to copy contemporary artists just because I don't think it's really, even if it's a copy of somebody's painting and it's clear that it's a copy and I'm not selling it or doing anything, I think it's just kind of sketch. So, all right, this is where we are for the block in. I see that my grid lines are showing through a little bit, so I need to do at least another layer on this, probably at least, because you do the block in, then you kind of model, which is coming in and doing the next layer of details, and then the third layer is kind of your fine details. So I have at least 2 more layers on this, but I'm pleased with what I have. I like the composition, how it's laid out. I think it's really cool looking. So now I just need to refine it. But I will leave it on the easel tonight so that it can dry, at least the underpainting can dry, and then I will come back to it and keep working. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you can do so and see what I am painting, and also I'm posting some of the sketches I'm doing in my class, so you can see some of those pencil sketches as well. Those of you I showed at the beginning of the live stream, but this is the final little painting we did over the last couple weeks. I don't know if I can, if I lean there, you can see it. The light here is really bad. It's really overhead, but I'm kind of happy with how it turned out. Kind of a cute little study, and I may turn that into one of the paintings in the collection as well. So I want to say thank you for joining me. It's been such a pleasure having you again with me here in the studio. Next week is 129, so we're almost to 130 live streams, which doesn't seem possible, but it has been a little over, well, I started July of 2020, I believe. That was pandemic year, so July of 2020. So it's been 3.5 years, which is shocking. Doesn't seem possible, but this summer will be 3 years, or will be 4 years that I have been painting. I guess I took about 6 months off when I moved here and had the robbery and everything else happen, so I wasn't painting during that time. I didn't have a space to paint, so maybe there was a 6-month break in there. But that said, can't believe it's been 4 years. It's kind of crazy, but I'm glad that you have been here for the journey, and we will see you next week, same time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, here on YouTube. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week.